This is where we break down complex systems, detailed research, expert thinking, and really pull out the core insights for you. Today we're doing a strategic analysis of a pretty impressive system for tackling high-stakes tests.
Yes. Specifically, we're looking under the hood of a, well, quite intensive 12-week program. It's designed as a systematic mastery approach, aiming for a significant, 100 to 200-point boost on the SAT and the engine. It's all driven by advanced AI prompting techniques.
Right, and we're moving past the initial setup, the diagnostics, even the foundational math work we might have discussed before.
Exactly. We're past all that.
So this is a real turning point in the program. We're zoning in specifically on Module 4. This is the module dedicated to really maximizing your score in the reading and writing section.
And this is where the whole concept of preparation kind of flips on its head. It stops being about finding limited resources and becomes genuinely infinite and, crucially, personalized.
That shift is pretty stark, isn't it? If Module 3 was about, say, using AI to understand math problems.
Right, deconstructing them.
Then Module 4 is about using AI to actually create the practice material itself. The objective here is really something. Let me quote it directly. Use AI to generate unlimited curriculum-relevant reading passages and questions that match the tone and difficulty of the digital SAT.
That phrase, unlimited curriculum relevant, and that's the core innovation here, I think.
It really is. It fundamentally changes the student's role, doesn't it? You're not just the person hunting down the next practice test, the next workbook. You actually become the content creator, tailoring the practice perfectly to what you need.
And that's the outcome, the big transformation. You shift from just being a consumer of SAT prep content to, well, an architect of your own learning path. Your AI tool goes from being just a source of information, maybe a bit passive.
Like a fancy search engine?
Exactly. To becoming this active, dedicated partner. A partner that can generate endless custom practice, and critically, practice that mirrors the exact style and difficulty of the real digital SAT.
Okay, let's really get into the mechanics of this. Section 1. The paradigm shift, customizing the reading section. This tackles what traditionally is a huge roadblock for students.
Oh, absolutely. The biggest hurdle, honestly, is just logistics. Finding enough high-quality reading passages that are actually relevant. I mean, the official stuff from the College Board is great, but it's finite. You burn through those official practice tests.
And then what?
Then you're hunting. And a lot of the third-party stuff, well, it can be off. Maybe the passages are too long for the digital format, maybe too simple, or they just don't feel like the SAT, the tone, the density. It's just not quite right.
And that mismatch, that negative transfer, as educators call it, that's a real problem. You spend hours practicing with material that doesn't actually tune your brain for the test. It's wasted time, or worse, you learn the wrong approach.
Precisely. So Module 4 tackles this supply problem head-on. It teaches you how to make the AI generate passages that meet the SAT's specific constraints. Remember, the digital SAT uses these short, focused passages, 25 to 150 words.
Tiny, really, compared to the old paper SAT.
Right, and they jump between literature, history, social studies, science. You need a lot of practice with short texts across all those different styles to get good at it.
But the really clever part in this module's design, I think, is emphasizing curriculum relevance. It's not just about making random passages. It's about linking them to what you're already studying in school.
Yes, that's the efficiency multiplier. Think about it. You're prepping for the SAT. Maybe you're also taking AP US history, right? And maybe you struggle with those dense cause and effect history passages on the SAT.
Okay, yeah.
So instead of practicing with some random science passage the AI spits out, why not prompt it to generate SAT-style passages about the causes of the American Revolution or whatever topic you're covering in class, using that specific academic language?
Ah, I see. So it's dual-purpose learning. You're reinforcing your history knowledge, getting deeper into those concepts,
while simultaneously mastering the reading skills the SAT tests. Analyzing arguments, understanding vocabulary and context, identifying main ideas, all within a subject you're already engaged with.
That makes so much sense. It lowers the cognitive load. Because the topic isn't completely new, you can focus entirely on the SAT skill itself.
It's about studying smarter, not just harder. Now, let's look at how you actually do this. Generating a truly good passage isn't as simple as just asking. You need sophisticated prompting. A lazy prompt like, write an SAT passage about science, is going to give you something, well, probably bland, too general.
Not test-like enough.
Exactly. It won't have that specific density or rhetorical structure. This is where the course introduces a really key idea. The test prep expert persona prompt.
Okay, tell me about that.
That initial command you give the AI, you are a test prep expert, it's fundamental. It immediately changes how the AI behaves. It tells the AI, okay, forget casual language, focus on precision, create challenges. Think like someone who designs standardized tests.
So it sets the stage. Let's look at the example prompt they provide. It's quite detailed. Write a 150-word SAT-style, science-based passage for an 11th grade reading level on the topic of genetic engineering. Match essay tune and difficulty. Wow, okay, there's a lot packed in
It
there.
really is. It's a great example of what we call a nested instruction. You can pull out, what, 5 key constraints just in that one sentence?
Let's see, you've got the length, 150 words,
Yeah.
the genre, science, the specific content, genetic engineering, the difficulty, 11th grade level,
Which is crucial for vocabulary and sentence complexity.
and finally, at explicit command, style enforcement. Match essay tune and difficulty.
Right. And that last part is the magic ingredient, really. Without it, the AI might just explain genetic engineering, like an encyclopedia entry, but demanding SAT tone forces it to write like the test does, maybe presenting an argument, analyzing methodology, using denser language.
So the AI isn't just writing about science, it's writing like an SAT science passage.
Precisely. It's generating text as a test. And because you, the student, set all those parameters, the topic, the length, the difficulty, the output, is incredibly targeted. You get rigorous practice on exactly the kind of scientific text analysis you need without digging through irrelevant material.
Okay, but I can anticipate a question a student might have. How do you know the passage, and especially the questions that might follow, are actually good, like accurate? If AI can sometimes make mistakes, aren't you risking practicing with flawed stuff if you're making it yourself?
That's a really important point and a valid concern. The course tackles this by embedding safeguards right into the prompt design, which leads us perfectly into the next section, isn't it? Section 2. Mastering words in context with precision.
Ah, yes, the vocabulary questions. These are a huge part of the reading and writing score, and it's not about memorizing definitions, is it?
And not at all. It's about nuance. Understanding subtle differences in meaning based on context. Like the word execute means one thing in a passage about computer programming and something entirely different in a passage about historical monarchies. Right. For a human tutor, creating good words in context questions is painstaking. You need the right passage, the target word, one clearly correct answer, and then 3 plausible wrong answers, the distractors.
And those distractors are key. Bad prep materials often have distractors that are just obviously wrong. They don't challenge you. The SAT uses distractors that look tempting, maybe they're secondary meanings or related concepts.
Exactly. They're designed to trap you if you're not reading carefully. Now, AI, if you prompt it correctly, can generate these high-quality questions with tricky distractors almost instantly. And this is where the course introduces another powerful technique, explicitly using RAG retrieval augmented generation within the prompt itself.
Okay, RAGgy. Let's break that down using the example they gave. The word ephemeral in the context of the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
That's already a potentially tricky mix.
Look at how the recommended prompt starts. It doesn't just ask the AI to write something. It feeds the AI the essential information first. Quote, "The word is ephemeral. Its meaning is lasting for a very short time. The genre is Industrial Revolution." See that? That's the retrieval part of RAG. You're giving the AI the core facts up front.
But wait, why tell the AI the meaning? Doesn't a large language model already know what ephemeral means?
It does, yes. But providing the definition explicitly acts like a guardrail. It prevents the AI from drifting, from potentially using a slightly different nuance of the word that doesn't fit the intended context, or even hallucinating a connection. Think of it like giving an artist a very specific brief versus just saying, paint something nice.
Okay, so by providing the definition and the context, Industrial Revolution, you're anchoring the AI, making sure it focuses precisely on the meaning you want to test.
Exactly. You're priming its knowledge effectively. And the impact isn't trivial. The research cited shows this RRAG approach, providing context up front, significantly boosts the quality and reliability of the generated content. It jumps from a somewhat shaky baseline accuracy of maybe 47%.
Which isn't great if you're relying on it for practice.
Right, up to a much more dependable 74%. That's a massive leap in the trustworthiness of the practice material you're generating.
Wow, nearly doubling the accuracy just by structuring the prompt to give the AI the context first. That really speaks to the systematic nature of this whole approach.
It absolutely does. So after providing that context, the prompt continues, please generate a short paragraph, around 75 words, on this topic. Then provide 4 answer choices and a detailed answer key with explanations for each choice. And those last bits are crucial.
The answer choices and the detailed explanations, that feels like the ultimate quality check.
It is, because now the AI doesn't just create the question. It has to create plausible distractors. One wrong answer might be an antonym, like enduring. Another might be related to the topic but wrong, like revolutionary. A third might be a secondary meaning of ephemeral that just doesn't fit this specific context.
And then the requirement for the explanation forces the AI to justify its choices. It has to explain why ephemeral is correct based on the passage, and why each of those tempting wrong answers is actually incorrect.
Yes, and that's where the deep learning happens for the student. You're not just checking if you got it right or wrong. You're analyzing why the distractors are wrong. You're learning to spot the test maker's tricks. You build resilience against those traps.
It turns a simple vocab quiz into like a mini lesson in logic and test design tailored just for you.
Precisely. You're essentially getting the AI to teach you how these questions are constructed, on demand.
Okay, that naturally leads us to the final piece of the reading and writing puzzle covered in Module 4. We've done passages, we've done vocabulary and context. Now we're moving into the mechanics of writing itself. Section 3, targeted drills for grammar and rhetoric.
Right. This covers two main areas. First, the rules. Standard English conventions, that's your grammar, punctuation, usage. Second, the effectiveness. Expression of ideas, making writing clear, logical, persuasive.
This is often the stuff students associate with boring workbook drills. Fill in the blank, circle the error.
And maybe that's why it's so perfectly suited for AI generation. The course frames the AI here as your personal writing coach. For these skills, it's all about recognizing patterns and applying rules consistently. If you have a specific weakness, say, comma splices.
Oh, the dreaded comma splice.
Exactly. You don't need a whole chapter on commas. You need targeted practice on just comma splices. With AI, you can generate, say, 20 different examples focused solely on identifying and fixing that one error until it becomes second nature.
Okay, let's take a specific example from the module focusing on transitions under the expression of ideas category. This is about logical flow between sentences, right?
Absolutely. Choosing the right transition word, however, furthermore, consequently, for instance, requires understanding the precise logical link. Is it contrast, addition, cause and effect? Example. Students often get this wrong by picking a generally positive or negative word without checking the logic.
So how does the AI help drill this?
The prompt design isolates the skill. Something like, act as an SAT writing coach. My goal is to master transitions questions. Generate a 5-question quiz. For each question, provide a short passage with 2 sentences. The questions should test my ability to identify the logical relationship between the 2 sentences.
So the AI has to create little scenarios. Sentence A presents an idea. Sentence B does something logically related, maybe contrasts it, maybe provides an example. And your job is just to pick the transition that reflects that specific logical link.
Precisely. It forces you to distinguish between, say, cause, therefore, and sequence, subsequently. And you can generate endless variations. Let's take another tricky one, subject-verb agreement, especially with distracting phrases in between.
Ah, yes, where the subject is singular but a plural noun sits right next to the verb, tempting you to make the verb plural.
Classic SAT trap. A generic grammar drill might not hit that specific structure often enough, but you can prompt the AI very specifically. Create 10 sentences where a singular subject is separated from its verb by a long prepositional phrase containing plural nouns. Make it multiple choice. Pick the correct verb form.
So you force the AI to generate sentences like, the box containing the fragile ornaments you saw on the top shelf. The plural ornaments tries to trick you into picking are.
But the subject is box, which is singular, so it must be is. And the beauty is you can generate dozens of examples of that exact tricky structure. You drill that specific pattern until you can't be fooled by it anymore. You're not just doing random grammar practice, you're surgically targeting your weaknesses.
That really is the definition of personalized, efficient practice. Whether it's transitions, subject-verb agreement, pronoun clarity, parallelism. You isolate the skill and generate focused drills until you nail it.
It flips the script entirely.
Yeah.
Instead of just reacting to whatever problems are in a pre-made book, you're diagnosing your own errors, maybe through practice tests, and then using the AI to create the exact practice you need to fix them. You drive the practice based on your data.
It's like practicing just the one difficult chord change in a song over and over instead of playing the whole song badly each time.
That's a great analogy. You master the tricky bits in isolation.
Okay, this has been a really detailed look at Module 4. It genuinely seems to reshape how a student should even think about preparing for SAT reading and writing. Let's try and synthesize the main transformation here for the listener.
I think the core takeaway from Module 4 is empowerment and control. You fundamentally stop the often frustrating search for enough good practice materials. You just create them. You ensure they align perfectly with the digital SAT's format and difficulty, and even with your own schoolwork. You gain the ability to generate infinite, high-quality custom drills for literally every skill tested.
And for you, the listener, the real benefit is gaining agency over your prep. When you master these prompting techniques, giving the AI a role, using a rank for accuracy, demanding detailed outputs and explanations, you're not just getting better practice, you're actually gaining a much deeper insight into how the test itself is built. Start to think like a test designer, not just a test taker.
And that understanding, that demystification of the test structure, that's powerful. That's what helps unlock those significant score improvements. You're no longer constrained by the limited number of official practice tests. So here's something to think about, a final thought to leave you with. Now that you know you can generate a targeted SAT reading passage on absolutely any topic, what's that one specific, maybe slightly obscure historical event or scientific concept that you find genuinely fascinating? What topic would you choose for your first custom-generated passage, ensuring you're completely engaged and focused from the start?